Australia's police forces are littered with corrupt senior cops. Let me explain how it happened. There was no planned conspiracy. It happened because of human nature. Fundamentally, there are two types of cops: those who want to catch criminals and those who don't care. The cops who want to catch criminals are decent people, and the cops who don't care are the narcissists, the bullies, and the idiots. Whenever a crime is committed, there are almost always multiple suspects, or whenever an incident occurs, there are almost always multiple reasons why it happened. It isn't always a crime, right? So when the police carry out an investigation, they're supposed to consider all suspects and all possible reasons why something happened, but they don't. They lock in on one suspect or one theory and they ignore everything else. Sometimes they do it to victimise an individual, but mostly it's just because of convenience, because they don't have the resources to investigate every suspect or to consider every possible reason why something happened. But the problem with this approach is it often results in innocent people being charged. Decent cops can't live with that, but the bullies and the idiots, they don't care. They'll do whatever it takes to get a conviction. They'll lie, they'll fabricate evidence, they'll coerce witnesses. And their favourite tactic, they'll load people up with serious charges and offer them a deal if they plead guilty to a lesser charge. I shudder to think how many innocent people have been convicted in this way. So the bullies and the idiots, they thrive in the police force. They get the convictions and they get the promotions. While the decent cops, well, they're conflicted. They understand that the police have limited resources, so they try to go along with the bullies and the idiots, but it tears them apart from the inside. I think that's why so many of the decent cops end up with PTSD, if they don't quit in time. Now, some of the decent cops lodge complaints, which is doomed to failure, because the senior officers, well, they're the bullies and the idiots, right? They're used to putting innocent members of the public in jail, so they'll do whatever it takes to cover up their corruption. They think nothing about loading up a decent cop with false charges to destroy their reputation rather than risk the corruption being exposed. You know, I used to think that all cops were corrupt because the decent cops could see the corruption but did nothing about it, so they were just as guilty. But since founding Justice Matters, I've spoken to a lot of the decent cops, and I understand it much better. What I can tell you with 100% certainty is that none of the decent cops were silent, none of them were complicit, and none of them got out unscathed. The problem is that most of the conversations they had were with themselves, in their minds, and they paid a huge price for that. They internalised the conflict for years and it tore them apart. Hopefully hearing this will help a little bit. Now, if you want to help get rid of the corrupt senior cops, then hit the follow button, because once we have enough authority, we'll absolutely get this done.